What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action spawning in the, I guess the bottom of the map in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Ulysses. His opponent today in the red color playing as Kronos. His name is Assem. I saw this game, I saw the Kronos, and I was like, look, let's see what Kronos players are doing nowadays. Look at this cheeky shenanigans. Immediate focus grab here by Assem. Now, if you guys don't know Assem, I think he streams a little bit. You know, he's definitely a relatively strong player. And yeah, that's what I've got. That's all I've really got to say. And we'll see how he's going to go in this game. It's Kronos versus Isis on Painted Desert. Definitely of all the maps, one of the stronger Kronos maps. Simply on the fact that all of the food is normally fairly difficult to access on Painted Desert. There's a whole bunch of food in the middle of the map, and there's always going to be this second hunt out here that is going to be in front of your town center. Very, very rarely do you get hunt behind your town center over here. So that's one thing. The other thing is, very often on Painted Desert, you get an open gold mine. And while this might not seem like much of an open gold mine at face value, there's no defenses here. There's no way to stop units streaming in from this side to attack this gold mine. So Ulysses is going to have his work cut out for him in this game. So I'm excited to see what he's going to come up with to try and defend the Kronos aggression. One thing that he does have over other civilizations is the monument god power blocking abilities, which we're going to be seeing get thrown down, which is going to be able to protect the sentry towers, protect the temple, effectively remove the deconstruction from the game in some way, shape, or form. As now we see Ulysses making his way up onto his second hunt nice and early here, though Assem might be going for a very, very fast advance time here. It looks to me as if this is a weird 4-minute build in somehow. No, it's not. He's moved this villager over here, and this villager is just going to be 4:30. Can't really be a 4-minute build, I don't think. And we actually are seeing him grabbing an early oracle here, getting himself the ship of the fingernails. Going to clean up this obelisk here and try and control some of that early vision. I haven't seen that really utilized very much for Atlanteans, but given the fact that he's already got focus and this unit here is now going to be almost as strong as a Murmillo, paying 40 food, 65 gold seems worth it considering how much a Murmillo normally costs. Which, what is it, 55.30 or something, 55.35? So it's pretty close to cost there. And he's a speedy boy, 4.8 speed, and he's going to get around the map and do some damage. 7.2 attack damage, and I think that goes up to about 8 when you hit the classical age. So we'll see how it's going to go. Temple coming up. Going to be just a little bit of a food income boost for him. Funnily enough, 24 free food, if that's the whole entire reason for getting the Oracle. This is going to take 3-4, like maybe 5 minutes to pay off the cost of the Oracle, but after that it's going to be really good. And we are also going to see him probably going to go for the Gaia Book of Knowledge up the top, which is unfortunately not the best of relics, but a relic nonetheless, as Assem getting out his last villager, and it's looking like 4:30 is not his choice here in the slightest. He's going for a 5-minute 15 advance time, potentially going to be getting a second town center on the back of this one and playing a really weird Kronos game. Normally Kronos goes very, very aggressive, but Kronos does have some incredibly strong 2TC strategies to use against specifically Egyptians, but some other civilizations as well. Ulysses, on the other hand, he is going through Anubis a little bit late, I would say, considering he had what looked to me to be about 4 zebra on this granary. For me, with Isis, unless you're doing very specific fast heroic builds whereby you're accepting that you're going to get pushed off your second hunt, you're just going to come home and eat herdables to get to the next age, I think it's better to gear your build around how much food you have in the starting base. So if you get 800 food in your starting base, you should be going for 4-minute builds, 4-minute 15 builds with a second monument, with one monument. You can throw your second monument up while you're advancing, but advancing already, having a monument out and putting some pressure onto this location already would have been gigantic for Ulysses, and also disrespecting potential Kronos rushes here as well. Is kind of what's happening here from Ulysses. But he's going to get all this food, live the dream over here, and Assem now going up through Prometheus. He is getting himself this second town center over here. The Oracle with the Gaia's Book of Knowledge cleaning up the obelisk. Does Ulysses see this? No, he does not. So he's got no idea what's happening. Assem's score relatively high here, I would say, just because he's picked up the relics. So the score read, the natural score read from the ISIS player, like trying to work out what their opponent's doing here, is kind of off because of those relics. So Ulysses might know there's a second town center coming. He might not know there's a second town center coming. He's got no real idea here if he's just going for natural score reads. If he did see the score drop, then yeah, maybe he'll know it. But he is going to build some spearmen here, going to be looking for some damage. Unlike against Oranos, against Kronos, the early spearmen are actually really good. Kronos and Gaia to some degree, less so Gaia for reasons that include Spider Lair, but against Kronos, especially Prometheus Kronos, the spearmen can chase down those Terma fairly nicely. 5.0 speed compared to the 5.0 speed of the spearmen, and if the spearmen get onto the Terma are going to take a lot of damage from them because they do get bonus damage versus them. So now Ulysses, how many spearmen is he going to decide to get is the big question. He's not going for that second town center, though he does have 10 villages on gold. Does he have himself pickaxe? Yes, he does. No husbandry, but he is just getting that now. And maybe he'll be thinking about getting himself shaft mine a little bit later. And he's going to have a lot of fun here in the middle of the map here with the elephant, whereas Assem, who's normally would be on the offensive here, is going to have to sit in his base and eat some herdables for the time being. Now, Plague of Serpents getting thrown down on the gold mine here. This is kind of fairly standard, but it's, in my opinion, you want to be doing this at 4 minutes or 4 minutes 30, not this late. This late it doesn't do all too much. These villagers could just sit here on Alt S, passive stance. For those of you who don't know, is a stance in which the villagers don't get disturbed. So you can hit Alt S, which is the hotkey, or or for other units, like you can click across on the little tab to all the stances and do that. But Alt S is the hotkey for your villagers to not move when they get disturbed, when they get attacked. And he could just do that and clean that up with those Terma. Now the Guardian Anubites are out for Ulysses. He's going to be looking for some sort of a damage here onto these citizens, but the citizens simply just going to throw up a mana over here and live the dream, as each other are going to be kind of chasing each other around. So Ulysses is still building units from one town center here. This is incredibly dangerous by Ulysses, because Assem's economy, if Assem is building units consistently, which it looks like villages consistently, which it looks like he actually is, he's got nothing to worry about here. He doesn't need to leave his base. His economy is going to be a powerhouse. He just needs to start farming, and with Ulysses being one town center, the economic difference is just going to be absolutely gigantic. And we are seeing some raids coming in from Ulysses. He's going to try and hit the citizen on this wood location over here. And Assem rightly sees that. He must have spotted the units passing his counter barracks over here. But the citizen is going to be retreating away, jumping onto a home wood line, much safer. Meanwhile, we do see some slingers getting some nice picks over here onto the hero Terma as the Anubite comes back and is nice and safe. And there are still some chicken remaining, and so, again, so long as Assem is keeping up villager production here, he is living the dream in this situation right now. So we'll see how it's going to go as the army's wandering forward here for Ulysses. There also is another problem for Ulysses. He doesn't really have a good option to take this gold mine down, and by the time Assem's gold mine and his home base is expired, he's going to have a gigantic army. Not only that, we are seeing a little bit of greed here from from our friend Assem going onto this gold mine nice and early. He can throw up a house over there or a manor over here and live the dream, as we are having just a cheeky fight as the Mamilo hero is going to town on those spearmen, especially with some more units coming in on the back. Nice micro there, pulling away the units, letting the Terma get some good damage done. But Ulysses is pushing in here, and this is not a fight really that Assem wants to be taking at this point. He's still kind of suffering a little bit from his early second towers, and I was saying it's good, but he just needs to sit back on it. But it's seemingly looking like he's going to be winning this fight fairly hard here, and Ulysses has to retreat away, and Assem wins that fight quite convincingly, even though Ulysses has been one town center this entire time pumping units out. Assem here currently sitting with a little bit of idle town center time, but no real problems. He does have his Promethean in his base here, going to be trying to take out that Guardian and Nubite, causing some pressure, and there is the second town center coming up for Ulysses at this point, as more reinforcements coming in for Assem. 115 population for Assem to Ulysses 81 population. A huge advantage for Ulysses. Thank you so much for the tier 1 me gas. Appreciate you a lot here. We got Christian Betendorf asking, why didn't you use Shockwave there? Well, this is Kronos. Kronos has deconstruction. I know it's not a god we get to see very often, but a god nonetheless. One thing I would like to see from Assem is maybe less Terma at this point, going into a couple of those Cairo Ballista to utilize against those classical units of Ulysses, especially given that we've seen that second talent center getting grabbed. But Ulysses is looking like he's going to be trying to get to the next age here. Does he have Shaft Mine? No, he doesn't. This is a technology which a lot of Egyptian players kind of don't realize how strong it is, and you do have to get it. You want to rush that technology nearly every single game if you can. So if you go for a fast heroic, you're getting it as you're going to the heroic age. If you're doing a classical fight, you're getting it early in the classical age. Really, really important. Gives you like a 20% boost, which is huge compared to what you think it's going to give you, which is a 10% boost. And we do see the prosperity getting thrown down there for Ulysses, going to help out his economy quite a lot here. As Assem now grabbing his third town center. Now, I don't hate this, but I don't like it either. I think that he needs the wood for farms. He needs more food in economy. And this is a farm and a half, or 2 farms if you consider the gold income as well, that Assem, or 3 farms that Assem could have thrown down. And he probably could have been heroic age here, going in, throwing up a palace, going in with destroyers. As we are seeing a little bit of a problem here. Where are their manors? He might want to time shift the manor over here to defend this location, because those farms are kind of in the middle of nowhere, as these 3 citizens trying to get this town center up as fast as humanly possible. As the Anubites do manage to get in onto this position, we see a Valor getting thrown down. One citizen is going to get taken out here, as the other citizen needs to keep fighting. We are seeing a bit of a raid coming in over here, as Ulysses has to pull back, taking a lot of villager damage there. We check out Ulysses' perspective now. He is going through Nephthys, and he is making a very, very strong move to the top of this map, where the potential for the rest of Assem's gold is. However, there is still this gold mine in the main base for Assem, as he's left this one here. Still got 500 gold left in it, but he will have to pull off this gold mine. And he's got a lot of wood in the bank right now that he shouldn't really be having. He needs to put a lot of that into farms. And he is now going through Rhea. So Rhea's going to be huge here. Allow 2 citizen kills. Assem not paying attention. This is going to be very, very difficult for Assem as he's retreating away. The Nephthys comes through for Ulysses as the villagers trying to get back into the town center. We do see a nice pathing block there from Ulysses. He's going to pick off both of these citizens. And Assem hardcore panicking here as he loses 1, 2, 3, 4 citizens to this raid. That might even just give Ulysses the go right now to simply just say, all right, I'm ready to just put all the pressure on. I've got some sort of equality here in this game, as he's picking off another 2 citizens over here as the Ancestors gets dropped down on this position, and all of the economic advantage that Assem has mustered thus far in this game has gone down the toilet here. Ulysses definitely equalized after those 2 raids. Town center getting taken down by these spearmen. We do see a time-shifted watchtower from Assem, as another citizen potentially going to be going down as well here. I don't think Ulysses has really lost a single villager in this game, even after that one little raid there. Another citizen going down as Assem under a monumental amount of pressure here. But he's still okay. He's still producing his own citizen. But this town center is not long for this world. Where are Assem's villages. He's currently mining gold on this location over here. We see the trader getting dropped down on the high HP Anubite there. Going to be taking down the other Anubite, but he's still got gold in his main base and he's still got 1,200 wood in the bank. This town center is about to fall here as Ulysses' pressure has mounted, and behind all of this, Ulysses has got his farm set up. He's got a strong economy. He can probably get his third town center here if he so chooses. Another citizen potentially going to be falling behind this one as well. Thank you so much for the Prime Art Vieira. Appreciate you, my friend. And the town center now, 100 HP remaining, only a handful of spearmen left here, and it does look like Assem has somehow, some way managed to hold this position, but at what cost? As Ulysses is motoring ahead, does he have himself out a Migdol yet? No, he doesn't. He's just going full land army, spamming out all of those farms and getting everything happening. 31 villagers on food. The citizen getting pulled away here as the spearman trying to get in front. We'll see if he's going to be able to get a surround on this or not. Assem sending in his Anubite here to take down those slingers, but I think one of those citizens may be falling here to the Scorpion Man there as it does fall. And now Assem here, he has got no gold income. He's thrown up a market. He does still have this gold mine. He must have forgotten about this. There's 5 citizens here that could be getting him 500 gold, which could be enough for him to secure another gold mine, but sending more citizen over onto this gold mine as well, as Ulysses is probably going to be thinking about going Mythic Age, getting his town center, doing everything he needs. Now remember that the big power spikes for Egyptian, even after this game, as all of the weirdness has happened, another citizen getting picked off here, another one potentially over here getting picked off, but the big power spike for Egyptian normally is Osiris, getting that son of Osiris against the classical age armies of an Oranos or an Atlantean player is really strong. The only real good way to deal with Osiris is mass Arcus, and Assem isn't close to mastering a ball of units like that. So Ulysses might be able to get something happening with said son of Osiris if he goes there relatively quickly. He's going to have this gold mine over here, starting his trade route. Might want to start thinking about throwing up those walls as well, throwing another market down over here. As the army retreating back, Ulysses, 119 of 154 population, no longer building any units, throwing up a Migdol stronghold here, thinking maybe time to go in with some heroic age units, getting some of those Migdol units out though. Unlike Ra, Isises aren't the best. We are seeing more Anubite raids here, trying to micro this 9 HP Anubite to the best of his ability. It does end up going down, but he does get a little bit of harass out of that 9 HP there. But yes, the chariot archers here for Isis against Atlantean just aren't as good as you might think if your opponent's got those Terma out. So if your opponent's making Terma, don't make chariot archers as set or Isis against the Atlanteans, because those Terma go to town. If you're Ra, you can, because they're fast enough to dodge the arrows, but Isis not so much. You might want to think about going elephant or going camelry to some degree, but definitely steer clear of those chariots until you've dealt with the initial Terma balls, until the Terma stop coming. Essentially here, as the spearmen going to be moving in, trying to take down some more units. It's a good fight for Ulysses yet again, consistently taking good fights on this game. He's returned back over onto this food that he left once upon a time. There's 2 elephants over here as well that he could potentially be eating, getting himself fortified town centers. He's just happily sitting in the heroic age here, and that's kind of allowed Assem to get back up to citizen cap. So Assem's economy, after all is said and done, still decently strong. He's got a decent army out, though. He's making Contarius against Spearmen for some reason. He's playing Kronos, so this makes no sense to me. Kronos, probably the unit you want to stay away from the most is going to be Contarius. Destroyers, Arcus, Fanatics, Murmillo, Caraballister, those are the units that you want to have in your army most of the time with Kronos, especially the earlier mentioned Destroyers, Arcus. But Assem here has not really thrown up a palace. He's finally throwing up his palace, cast the traitor, steals the Scorpion Man away. Only 1 traitor remaining right now. So we'll see what he's going to use on that one. If I'm Ulysses, I probably just delete my mummy when I go to the Mythic Age, as we are seeing Osiris. Unfortunately, the Thoth lovers out there not going to be seeing Thoth in this game as much as I do love Thoth. He is a little little bit silly in this situation, as the Contaria is going to be looking for some raids here. 5.75 speed is pretty quick for a horse, for a cavalry unit, but still not as quick as the raiding cavalry, not as quick as the Spirited Charge Hippocon either, as they're going to be looking for some raids. These villages out in the middle of nowhere, so the Contarias could hit them nicely. We do see the villagers getting pushed off of the elephant that I said was here before, as Ulysses didn't really secure that, but he will be able to make his way through this wall back home, potentially get onto the gold over here. Let's check out the economy. We do have quarry, we've got carpenters, we've got irrigation, all of the strong economy upgrades for Ulysses. Ulysses playing this one really, really smart, to be honest. He's just gone full chemo style, full economy over everything else, not trying to finish the game early, just trying to make sure that he can get to the late game in a decent situation, as Assem right now is going through Helios. So this game is not in the bag for Ulysses by any stretch. If Assem can get himself a decent army of siege out here, and I'm talking fire siphon, I'm talking destroyers, and click a very strong vortex. So the idea being attack this location over here, and then the weirdest deconstruct you've ever seen. Attack this location over here, and then vortex this town center while pressuring up on this location with Palace. That would be a very, very difficult thing for Ulysses to be defending. And that's the best way to be using Vortex in this situation. And we are seeing him pressuring this location at the moment, but his army is not really what you would really want to see with a good Vortex, as we are finally seeing some destroyers getting built, but maybe he's going to be transitioning into Fanatics instead. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's check out his economic upgrades over here. He's got himself no plow. Oh no, Assem has forgotten plow in this game. He's finally getting it 80% of the way through. He's gonna be making some Hecka Gigantes here. Imagine if Assem had himself irrigation at the very least here. His food income would have skyrocketed, be in a very, very good position here. As the laborers getting taken down, the villagers getting taken down as well. We see Assem trying to break through this gate over here. Again, the game plan here for Assem is very, very simple if you're aware of it, and it's to be trying to put pressure, or at least take pressure over here, spam buildings on this position, attack this town center with a couple of Hecka Gigantes, fire giants, etc. We are seeing a where is that going? We are seeing a time shift here on the palace. It's pretty expensive to do this. I think it costs something like half the cost of a palace to time shift it. And normally we see these getting thrown down in locations like this. Time shift here onto this, and then we can hit this, and it would be really, really good. Or better yet, Vortex over here, time shift a palace behind it. I'm saying that's the... honestly, the more and more I see Helios and think about Helios with Kronos, the more and more I think that, my golly gosh, Kronos' Mythic Age power spike is gigantic and disgusting if you play around it. But right now, Ulysses has got himself heavy elephants. He's got himself a Son of Osiris. There's a mummy over here that might get traded very shortly as well, but it is alive here, and we'll see, can the Hecka Gigantes get around the Son of Osiris? It could be actually huge, because the Hecka Gigantes can use his special ability against the Son of Osiris, do a lot of damage, and put him into dangerous positions there. But the Assem doesn't control that one to the best of his ability there, and the Hecka Gigante will indeed go down to Ulysses, Son of Osiris, as we do see the mummy getting converted over here, pulling back. We've got ourselves champion Contarius here as well. The war elephants coming through, as Ulysses can now start attacking the town center here. It is fortified town centers, but it does not have masons, so these war elephant do tons of damage. 18.2 hack damage plus 200%, or times 200%. I can't exactly know what that is, but you're looking at 36. You're looking at 40 something damage. Is that how math works? 48 damage. I can't do that math. Times 3. These elephant do so much damage to the town centers here, but doesn't manage to take it down, does manage to keep it back up there. We are seeing the Vortex getting thrown down. The first one to try and defend this one, as we're now starting to see some Fanatics coming in to take this defense seriously. The Fire Siphon's trying to attack the Son of Osiris over here, as the Palace is going to be getting taken down. And honestly here, Assem's choice to tech into Champion Contarius here, for me, makes very, very little sense. But he is managing to get some good damage done onto that Son of Osiris as this is happening. The War Elephant back in onto the town center trying to take it down, but not able to just yet as there's enough citizen here to defend this one. Or rebuild against the elephant there. As the Son of Osiris getting targeted down yet again. Nice micro using the siege tower to garrison. Now we've got Ulysses throwing up towers over here. Still no defense on this town center. It could be absolutely gigantic to attack this town center, attack the trade route, cause a lot of issues for Ulysses, but still has not managed to do it. As the siege tower is wandering through here. There are two citizen here. The citizen deal so much damage to a siege tower. It is ridiculous. As you can see that they basically go down to one incredibly quickly here, but we do still have a handful of war elephants, heavy elephants pushing in here, and Assem sitting at 138 or 140 population, losing a house somewhere along the ways, looking like he is not going to be able to hold the onslaught that is these war elephants. The siege tower going after the palace as well here, going to be taking this one down as he's moved that palace from the top location down to the bottom location. Ulysses throwing up a Migdol stronghold on the front, not going to be unrelenting pressure from Ulysses to deny any possible vortex shenanigans here from Ulysses, from Assem here, as we are seeing the vortex onto this position, trying to surround the Son of Osiris, and he does manage to get the surround. However, there is a siege tower here, and he does simply just calmly garrison into the siege tower. No problems there. Smart play from Ulysses. Nice try from Assem, but Ulysses is no pushover. The siege tower is going to just get back, get to safety. No problems there. Migdol stronghold, however, does get denied. As Assem still continuing here. Do we have an obelisk from Ulysses which can see this gold mine? Because this gold mine, he does. So Ulysses has actually got another win condition up his sleeve, controlling this location, controlling this location over here as well. So we'll see if that becomes an issue for Assem in the near future or not, as he is still trying to hold on. He's still missing a house here as well, but doesn't have the resources really to do too much armory upgrades. He does have some decent armory upgrades, but Ulysses is nearly full iron here. Remember, Isis does have those cheaper upgrades as well, so she's going to be able to get her armory upgrades much more simply than everyone else, as we are seeing a cheeky catapult going after the hometown center of Assem, as the Son of Osiris cleaning up the fire siphon with the help of those axemen, the war elephants pushing forward as well. The arc is coming through, some more time shifting shenanigans here from Assem, but it's not really going to be helping him out too much as the siege tower is rolling in onto this hometown center. Assem not paying attention. This catapult dealing so much damage with the help of the war elephant, as the siege towers will manage to finish this one off, even with the 4 citizen finally noticing this. It's not going to be enough. Town center goes down. Assem going to be dropping down to 120 or 120 population there, and in that moment he does tap out. GG. Well played by Ulysses. Some incredibly clutch raids to get himself equal in this game in terms of economy, and then simply just transitioning into the ridiculously strong war elephants, especially upgraded elephants. If you take a look at this, 15% extra war elephant hit points might be like, oh, that's not really that much. But when it comes down to it, 112 hit points is 112, or is it plus 67 hit points? Plus 67.5 hit points is a lot of hit points. It says plus 112 up here, so I'm not sure what that means, but it's so many hit points. And then on top of that, the pierce armor, hack armor. It's so hard for Atlantean to deal with these. So really, really smart choice of units there from, or composition here from Ulysses here. Now, had Assem played this one very differently, I'm talking about 2 town center timings, or simply just not getting his economy absolutely shat on here, I think that the Vortex into Palace time shift is so absurdly strong and hasn't been explored at all that there might be strategies that Kronos has got available to him which simply just are nigh unstoppable for Egyptian players. I'm really excited for Kronos. I think that Kronos is super under investigated in terms of strategies which do not involve Kronos rushing. especially given the buffs to time shift and things like this. Like it used to be 300 wood, 300 gold, 8 favor, 2 time shift to palace. Now it's half that or somewhat half that. So you can get those time shifting shenanigans happening much, much simpler. You don't have to sacrifice the villager walking time to get those palaces forward, or even the risk of doing so. And it can be really, really strong to do that. One day we're going to see Kronos on the throne, on the S+ tier throne, I'm sure, but maybe not today. Well played, Ulysses. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTubes, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.